තියෙනවා. කැමරා ඔන් කරන්න. කැමරා. කැමරා.
Leave, تحكي
Thank you very much.
බලන්නකො මේ වැහැදිලා තියෙන හැටි. ඒකනේ මං කරේ
Maybe we can even manage to hear some drops of water. Can you hear that?
උගලන්ට වතුර සද්ද ඇහෙනවා තාම. උගලන්ට වතුර බින්දු වැටෙන සද්ද ඇහෙනවද කියලා.
We actually have water dripping into the cave all year round, even though it rains between December and March usually.
දෙසැම්බර් මාර්තු
All
වල
year doesn't rain a lot, as you know. But the whole mountain, it's like a big sponge, and we actually have water that's in the rock at this moment now. All this rock, you can think of it as like a big sponge, and very, very slowly the water is dripping into the cave. And if it drops slowly, it creates stalactites because it's bringing the particles of rock into the cave. So let's look on the ceiling. You can see that there's a crack over here, very, very long one, this one. It can be a small crack, it can be a very long crack. And here you have water on the ceiling, drops of water. The water that's dripping very, very slowly is creating stalactites. These ones are called macaronis. They're the first type that's created in the cave. They're very long and thin, and they're hollow. It's like a straw. And for a centimeter of a macaroni, it can take between 50 to 100 years to develop. Drop by drop for 1 centimeter. Of course, that's a very, very long time. You can see much older macaronis over here, maybe hundreds of years old. And as you can see, some of them have drops at the edge, which means that the macaroni is still working, it's still active. And some of the macaronis, you don't see anything, probably because they blocked. Okay, because the water flows inside the macaroni, it accumulates inside and it creates a block. After the macaronis stop growing, in some places we get water that circulates on the outside of the macaroni, okay, layer after layer. That's how we get the big stalactites we call carrots. Look at the ceiling over here. You can see the big stalactites everywhere on the ceiling.
ඉස්සෙල්ලාම හැදෙන්නේ මේ මැකරෝනි කියන එක. ඊට පස්සේ හැදෙන්නේ අර කැරට් කියන
You want to
එක.
explain?
දෙසැම්බර් මාර්තු වුණාට මේ රටේ වහින්නේ අවුරුද්ද පුරාවටම මේ වතුර ඩ්‍රොප්ස් වැටෙනවලු වතුර බින්දු වැටෙනවලු ස්පොන්ජ් එකකින් වතුර වැටෙනවා වගේ ස්පොන්ජ් එකකට වතුර උරා ගත්තාම කොහොමද වැටෙන්නේ ඒ වැටෙනවා වගේ වැටෙනවලු ඉතින් මුලින්ම හැදෙන්නේ මේ මැකරෝනි කියන එක ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අර කැරට් කියන එක හැදෙනවා කියන්නේ okay.
Okay, what you can see here, this black stain on the ceiling, it's a bacteria, it's called cyanobacteria, and it comes in it's in the air. It comes in when we open the door, and it sticks to the ceiling, as you can see, and it likes the humidity here. It likes the heat and the water supply, and of course it likes to eat light. That's the food, okay? We like to eat, I don't know, rice, yes?
Yes.
And the bacteria likes to eat light.
That's why
That's why we don't allow flashlights
okay.
and flash, to use the flash inside the cave.
Okay.
We also have green algae. That's usually in the lower parts of the cave where we can reach it and clean it. We have to clean it. Once a year we have to clean the algae, but we have to use chlorine, which is of course not safe and not very healthy for us, and not good for the rocks. So we prefer not to use a lot of light here.
Okay.
At the bottom of the cave we can see the stalagmites. When the water finally falls down from the ceiling, it drops to the bottom of the cave, and here the drops pile up, drop after drop. That's how we get these stalagmites, a little bit like sand castles, okay? Drop after drop. They're much bigger, of course, than the stalactites. Because of the force of gravity, we have much more material on the floor of the cave.
ආගලන්ට ෆ්ලෑෂ් එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න එපා කියන්නේ අන්න අර කළු පුතේනේ බැක්ටීරියා නිසා. මොකද ඒක කැම වශයෙන් ගන්නේ ආලෝකයලු. ඒකයි මේ ෆ්ලෑෂ් එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න එපා කියන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ වගේම මේ තව මේගොල්ලෝ ක්ලෝරින් දාලා මේවා සුද්ධ කරනවා. නමුත් මේගොල්ලෝ ක්ලෝරින් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැතුළු. මොකද මේවට හානි වෙන නිසා. ඉතින් අර බැක්ටීරියා එක ඉන්න තමයි මේන්ලි කියන්නේ පාවිච්චි කරන්න එපා කියලා මේ ෆ්ලෑෂ් එක.
We can also see cave corals in large areas of the cave. They look like real corals, as though we were now beneath the sea. But of course they're made from rock. The cave corals develop very, very slowly when there's a spray of water inside the cave. So if we have a lot of water inside the cave, if it's raining very hard outside, we have a lot of water inside the cave, then the water actually hits the rocks, and then it splashes around the rock. And so we get little drops joining together to create the corals.
හැමදේමටම කියනවා නම් මේ වතුර ගොඩක් එකතු වෙලා තමයි මේ දේ හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ. ගොඩක් වහිනකොට වතුර ආවම තමයි මේ අපි කොරල් වලට මොනවද කියන්නේ කියලාම සිංහලෙන්? ගල්මල්. ඒවා හැදෙන්නේ වැස්ස වැඩි වෙලා එකතු වෙන වතුර වලින්. බේසිකලි කියනවා නම් මේ හැම දෙයක්ම හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ අර උඩින් වැටෙන වතුර කාබන් ඩයොක්සයිඩ් එකතු වෙලා තමයි මේවා හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ.
And now I'd like to show you a nice game that we play in the cave. We don't have sculptures here, of course, it's all natural, but there are some figures that we can imagine along the way. You can also discover some. Here you can see the caveman sitting on a rock.
ඔයගලන්ට හොයාගන්න
Over
පුළුවන්
there,
ද
back to us.
මනුස්සෙක් වගේ ඉඳගෙන ඉන්නවා. Okay.
See him?
Yes.
Did the caveman get dressed today? Is he wearing any clothes?
No, doesn't look
No,
like.
he didn't get dressed
No.
because it's nice and warm here, you can feel. It's 23 degrees. It's a stable temperature. So if you come in the summer and it's very hot outside, of course you feel it's nice and cold.
Cold in.
If you come in the winter and it's cool outside, you feel
hot.
that it's hot. But actually, the temperature here doesn't change.
Oh.
And the humidity, you can feel the humidity, it's very, very high. It's about 98%. Because we don't have an opening to the cave, we don't have evaporation. The water can't escape, the humidity can't escape the cave. That's why it's so humid.
රස්නේ කාලේ ආවොත් මේක ඇතුලේ සීතලයි. සීතල කාලේ ආවොත් මේක ඇතුලේ රස්නේ. නමුත් කවදාවත් මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙන ටෙම්පරේචර් එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැලු. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලෝ අර පොඩි සෙල්ලමක් වගේ අදන අර ගලක් උඩ මිනිස්සෙක් දාලා එයා ඇහුවා දැන් එයා ඇඳුම් ඇඳලාද ඉන්නේ කියලා. දැන් එයා අද ඇඳුම් ඇඳලා නැහැලු. මොකද අද මේක ඇතුලේ රස්නේ නිසා.
We also have the caveman's wife taking care of the baby. And we have a lion, the guardian of the cave, on top of the cliff here.
Okay.
You can
Oh
see
yes.
a small lion.
Yeah.
looking towards the entrance of the cave. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
This area of the cave has been damaged. You can see that there used to be columns over here that broke,
Yeah.
and over here,
Okay.
and also we see some damage here.
Yes.
This is because of the blast that occurred here when the cave was discovered.
Okay.
It was just behind these columns, and it created the opening that we use today to the cave.
Okay. මේ අර හරිය ඩැමේජ් වෙලාලු තියෙන්නේ මේක පුපුරු පිපිරීම් කරලානේ මේවා ඔපන් දැක් මේ කියන්නේ හොයාගෙන තියෙන්නේ. ඒ පිපිරීම් කිරීම වල තුලදී අරවා ඔක්කොම විනාශ වෙලා. ඒ තුලින් තමයි මේගොල්ලෝත් අර එන්ට්‍රන්ස් එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ.
Okay, we also have a couple getting married today. You can see over here, the bride and groom. Yes, Mazal Tov.
අද දෙන්නේ බඳිනවා.
Tomorrow they plan to go on the plane. They want to fly to Italy. Okay, they want to, of course,
Honeymoon.
maybe you can recognize very famous building in Italy.
Pizza.
Pisa, of course. So good luck to this young couple. Let's see the wedding cake they made for all the guests. They're expecting a lot of guests. Look at this wedding cake.
Wow.
The cherry on top. And we have lots of ice creams along the way. See, so you might complain and say it's not fair that we can only look, but we're not allowed to eat anything inside the cake. Okay? So here you are, the big cake, and ice creams everywhere. Yes? And now we're going to see some very impressive elephants here, which are a type of stalactite.
අර ඇත්තටම සිංහයෝ